my name's Micaelliehill and I kind of fell off the face of the planet for a little while. I don't really know if anybody's noticed, you probably haven't. I've taken a little accidental hiatus from all my crazy film and photography projects. It wasn't purposeful, it just kind of accidentally happened after I made Spellbound, so I thought I would do a little update on where I'm at and what my plans are for the future. So the last thing that I kind of properly did was my project Spellbound, and that was a complete and utter success, I would actually like to say. I'm very proud of that project and I'm very proud of the team who worked on it, and it still kind of doesn't really feel real yet. It hasn't really sunk in. I don't really feel like I'm like, oh my god, yeah, I've done an exhibition, I've done this, I've done, like, it just doesn't compute in my head yet. Seeing the finalised film, like the proper final director's cut, with the premiere night, and it definitely helped, and because it's like, Spellbound was my child and it was so personal to me, and all of my work is very personal and very symbolic, but Spellbound was the first thing that I've made that kind of really spells that out for the audience, and it was very scary, I feel like, to let that go, because it felt like I didn't have that mask, because that's what a lot of my creative stuff is. I have this mask to protect what I'm trying to say. I have this really heavy symbolism, or this really whatever, these kind of like crazy ideas that I come up with to kind of hide what I'm actually feeling, and kind of putting something out there, as much as the images are very heavily symbolic, putting something out there that explains it and holds your hand, and it's kind of like, this is what's happened, here's me telling you. It's very scary. It's very scary. Spellbound has taught me a lot though. I think it's definitely helped to put my, I think, career into a very good path. It's definitely helped me to understand myself more and understand who I am as a creative more, and that's something that I'm very thankful for. And I don't really, it's also just, I don't think it's even really about the project, I think it was more the people. Like, I was so lucky to have worked with those people, so lucky, and I'm also so grateful to be able to call most of them my friends. I'm eternally grateful for Ryan Robertson. I will forever be so grateful for Ryan. I would never be interested in going into the film industry or doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for him, and I'm so eternally grateful for him and everybody else I worked with. And I'm so thankful for Caden and the crazy, I love the music that he made for it so fucking deeply. It's so good. It's the music is something that always gets me, because it feels, the music, as much as he wrote it, feels so personal to me because it's about my story, and it's such a strange thing. Whenever I listen to it, it feels exactly what I felt like at that time, and it's crazy. But who I'm the most grateful for is everyone who's watched it and everybody who has said anything nice about it or even criticised it, and I'm so thankful to anybody who came to the premiere night. It was really crazy seeing so much interest being put into my project and the weird stuff that I'm doing, and it's not, I think I've definitely created this kind of pocket of niche for myself, and I'm not saying anything that I do is so crazy different, but it's like my own, and I'm quite comfortable with that. And it's really lovely to see people kind of starting to take an interest or starting to notice it, and it's something that I really want to continue with, so hence why I'm making this video. So basically, after Spellbound, I was dead. I'm not gonna lie, I was absolutely dead. Doing a project that was so heavy and so full on emotionally as well, because there was a big emotional toll for me about being so vulnerable and kind of being very careful about what part of my story that I wanted to put out there. It was very exhausting, as much as the whole process I'm so eternally grateful for, and it was also really enjoyable in a lot of different ways. It kind of led to me being this point of being like, okay, I'm burnt out and I need some time to, like, not only creatively rest but kind of mentally rest as well. I was doing Spellbound for basically like every day for nearly half a year, and it's the most rewarding thing that I've ever done. I don't ever want to bash it, but I just needed some time to settle out. And then I moved to Glasgow in August, which has been my dream for years and years, and I love it here. I love it so much. So yeah, and I'm kind of in the stage now where I feel like I have this blank slate and I'm really excited to move on to the next thing. I've had so many ideas in the coming months of what I wanted to do and ideas for the future, and not all of it's kind of worked out, and I'm now in a stage where I can finally be like, this is what I'm going to do, and I have time to do it, and I'm so excited. The first thing that I want to talk about that I'm doing this year is my project Unfiltered. It's actually a project for college, it's my graded unit. It's kind of turned into something a little bit bigger than it probably should be, but I'm quite happy with it. So it started off as just a moving image brief, which is a film brief, like, come on, where we had to make a little film. So I decided to make a tiny documentary because after Spellbound, that was something that I got really interested in, was listening to other people's stories. And it was something that Ryan really heavily inspired with me as well, is listening to other people and other people's stories, and also what I could learn from it. So I interviewed my dear friend Greg, who is amazing and has really helped me with my move to Glasgow and kind of some of the other personal things that's been going on in my life recently, and I'm so grateful for him. And he's also just like a cool, crazy, nuts artist who makes some really cool stuff. He's known as Scone Boy. I'll like link him down below so you can check out his stuff because he's sick as fuck. So we made a little documentary, and then our graded unit came up, and I was kind of in this space where a lot of pretty terrible things had happened to me, and I wasn't really doing that well mentally, and I was struggling with kind of moving here, and everything was getting a bit too big and a bit too bad for me to deal with. And I was like, I kind of need to recircle my focus into what's important to me, and that is creativity. I didn't want to do another project that was so deep after Spellbound, especially when I wasn't like feeling so great and my mental health was struggling again. I didn't want to do something that was so dark and so big and so heavy, where it was like days that I was feeling rubbish and I couldn't like drift away. And I was also dealing with the move to Glasgow and not really knowing many people here. I felt like in my hometown I had this lovely little creative nest, and I kind of flow in it, and I've not found it here yet, and it's quite daunting. And I know a lot of musicians from like doing my gigging work here and stuff like that, so I thought that would maybe be a good way to branch out. So I decided to do my graded unit on creatives in Glasgow, whether that be musicians, artists, jewellers, carpet makers, fucking filmmakers, photographers, literally anybody. So that's what I'm doing currently, and I'm really enjoying it. I've interviewed Tragic O'Hara, Leon Swan, and of course Greg so far, and I've got a couple of other interviews coming up, and it's been really lovely just to meet people and to talk to people about not just themselves and not just to learn from them, but also their views on the creative scene and where it's going and AI and different things. And it's been really lovely to learn from different people, and it's also just been very inspiring to hear from other people's stories, especially Tragic O'Hara's, because he's a little bit older than me, and it's very inspiring to kind of understand that I can slow down, and that I can take time to pause and come back, and that's something that's been very helpful. And I very much look up to him as a creative. I was really daunted about going into my interview with him because I really look up to him and I really love his work, and I think he's a great advocate for people from Ayrshire. So that's what I'm doing currently. Everything's going to kind of be released in like little pebbles. I'm not really giving myself a harsh timeline with it. I'm kind of letting myself enjoy this, and it's kind of what's helping me get back into the photography realm, because it's a... See, I haven't even really explained what I'm actually doing for it. So I'm doing 10 mini documentaries about everybody that I'm interviewing, and then I'm doing 10 close-up 50mm black and white portraits as well with everybody. The portraits are looking really cool, like sick as fuck, and I'm so happy about them. I'm really pleased with them. And it's really nice as well because this project is kind of allowing me to dabble into the film world by myself and kind of elevate my interviewing style, and it's a really great way for me to muck around with camera settings, to film and different things. And this is, a lot of it is that I wanted Unfiltered to also be a learning experience for me, and it's really enjoyable. It's really, really enjoyable. I also don't purely think it's just beneficial to me. I think these documentaries will hopefully be beneficial to everybody else as well who watches them. So I feel like I've personally learnt so much from other people's stories, and I feel like that can maybe help other creators that are stuck in a rut or don't know what to do next, or have, like me, so many ideas that they want to do that they get like overwhelmed and bunged up, and it's like, oh, I don't know where to go. And I think there's a lot you can do from slowing down and sitting and researching and listening. I think listening is such a great tool. As much as talking is number one, I think listening is such an amazing tool. And I think it's an art. I think talking is definitely an art. That's something that Oscar Wilde said, and I think it's definitely an art. Moving on to speaking about Oscar Wilde, the second thing that I really want to achieve this year, I read a book called Only Dull People Are Boring at Breakfast, which is a collection of quotations by... Hello, editor Mica here. That was a lie, what I just said. The book is called Only Brilliant People Are Dull at Breakfast. I'm an idiot. I'm really sorry. Oscar Wilde. and there's a lot of things that he says that I really agree with and really disagree with, and I really want to write essays about them. This is going to be something more I do out of leisure that I post on my Substack. I've posted some like poetry stuff on there. I've posted a film essay as well, which is something that I'd like to do more of. Writing is something that I definitely want to get a little bit more in depth with this year. And it's something that I'm really enjoying. I've journaled for years and years, and it's something that's always been a very sacred practice to myself, and I'm not ready to release that yet. Dakota Warren posted a really lovely video of her reading one of her journal entries, and it's absolutely beautiful. I'll also post that down below because it's gorgeous, but I'm not quite at that level yet where I'm ready to kind of release a stream of consciousness that isn't highly overanalyzed and overly tweaked and overly put into a body of work, I suppose. That's the only really way I can put it. I'm not quite ready to be, I think, so authentically vulnerable. I think Spellbound has kind of definitely pushed my limits to a comfortable place, but also a little bit uncomfortable. But I don't think it's something that I'll be doing in the near future. But yeah, Substack's definitely something that I really want to continue with this year because I'm really enjoying it. I don't really know how it works. I kind of feel like Facebook, that makes no sense. It makes no sense, but I was really confused by Facebook for so long, like so long, and now I love Facebook, and I'm hoping that's what happens to Substack. I know how to like post things, and that's kind of like about it. I don't know how, like I saw someone talking about you can change your banner and stuff, and I have no idea how to do that, and it makes me feel really old. It makes me feel really old. Another thing that I really want to try and do this year, which is something that I'm not going to promise anything for, but I really want to learn how social media works. I really enjoyed like doing the TikTok-y stuff and the Instagrams, and I sound like a mum, what the fuck, I'm really not helping my case here. Like I really enjoy doing it, but I'm so rubbish at it. I am so eternally rubbish at it. I don't know how to make stuff go viral, and I'm not really good at doing it either, just because I don't really feel like my days are interesting. But I'm gonna try, because I really want to like film some of my last couple of like months in Glasgow, because I'm moving back to my hometown for a year, just to kind of like reset, reprioritise, and then come back when I feel like I'm ready, unfiltered. Going back to that kind of feels like a little goodbye to then come back a year later, which is not a negative thing in my mind. I think it's a really good step in the right direction. I feel like instead of going straight forward, I'm going left, because I'm going there to also do film, and I'm changing my degree, which is something I'm actually really excited about, because I feel like doing a degree in photography is really taking the passion out of it, and it's something that I really want to get back into this year, because it's something that I've always just done for myself, and I think that I've kind of found a style that I'm quite comfortable with, and I don't really want to adapt to. I don't want to do stuff that's really high quality and really that I could sell. My photography I don't make to sell. My photography I make because to me it's art, and to me it's self-expression, and doing a degree doesn't teach you that, and I don't want to do it anymore. If I'm being really honest, I don't want to do it anymore as a degree. I want to do it as a hobby. But film, oh, I will so happily do that as a job. I would so happily do that as a job. That really excites me. That really excites me. But yeah, looping back around to what I was saying, social media will be something that I will try and get better at. I did take a big hiatus from posting, and then just kind of now I'm back because I did Spellbound, and I was like, bye guys. And I have mixed feelings about the fact that I left and the fact that I came back. I think it was the right decision for me. Was it maybe the right decision, like marketing wise and all of that shit? Probably not. But I'm not a brand. I'm a human being, and I'm an artist, kind of. I don't know. I tell people that I tell stories, because that's what I do, is I tell stories. But soon I'm gonna also write love letters, and oh my god, I'm so excited about this. This is kind of my project that won't have an end, and I'm really excited. So love letters to me is the accumulation of all the multimedia that I enjoy. It's my photography, it's my writing, it's my film, it's the music, it's everything into one place, and I'm so excited about it. My plan is to do some sort of zine publication I don't again have any kind of like, oh I'm going to do this once a month, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, that. I'm going to kind of do it when I feel like it's ready to go out into the world. It's basically going to be a zine, and I'm going to make some like, I'm going to put some poems in it and some of my writing, and the zines are going to be about anything, whether it's about things that I love, things that I hate, whether it's about fashion, music, art, culture. Because I have so many thoughts about the way that the art industry is going and the music industry. It could literally be about anything that I want it to be about, but my goal for it is for it to be the truest expression of myself, and I really want to be able to explore myself creatively and artistically through it. And even whether that's just me paying homage to blooming David Lynch or Paul McCartney on a page or whatever, it's just, I'm very inspired by Amy Fattal's zine. I really love hers, where it has a mix of her poetry and images, and hers is very multimedia based. And I love hers undoubtedly. And that's what I want mine to be like. And I really like the name Love Letters. I really liked it, and I feel like everything that I make, to me, as much as some things that I make are really cruel, really cruel, they come from love. Everything I make comes from love and comes because I care, and everything I do comes from those two same things, and that's why Love Letters kind of made sense for me. I also just like the way that it rhymed with my name, Micaelliehill. I like that. I like that. But yeah, Love Letters is a zine, and it's going to be music with visuals, with my poetry over it on my YouTube and different things. Love Letters is going to be an avenue for me to explore what I want to explore, and I'm very excited about it. And now I can tell people that I'm Mica Ellie Hill, and I tell stories and I write love letters, and that is so exciting. I don't like calling myself an artist. I don't like telling people, oh I make music and I do this and I model for people and I make films and I write, and I don't like doing that. I don't always think what I'm doing is so special, if I'm honest. I'm just gonna be really honest. I don't feel like what I'm doing is ever so special, but it's important to me, and that's all that matters. And I don't like to talk about the things that I make in a braggy way, because I don't expect it to be important to anybody else, but I expect it to be important to me. And I don't want people to get romanticised about what I make. I don't want people to be like, oh my god, she's at this and she's at that, that's so cool. I'm not. I'm Mica Ellie Hill, and I tell stories and I write love letters, and that's it. That is literally it, and that's what I will do until one day I decide to stop, or until I decide to change my title, but that's who I am. I feel like I'm reintroducing myself almost. I went for this whole bit thing where it was like, oh I'm a photographer, and then I was at this, and then I was at that, and now this just feels the most comfortable, where I can kind of put everything into the one space. And I'm so excited to kind of reimburse myself on my photographic journey as well, because that's where all of this started from. That's where literally all of this started from, and it's the thing that I love the most, and it's the thing that, you know, I think I'm best at, mainly because I'm best at visual imagery. That's the thing, like, that's my thing, is I'm best at visual imagery, and that's what I'm best at. So I don't know, but that's all I want to do, is tell stories to people, and make things, and that's what I will continue to do forever. Yeah, so just to kind of recap on everything I've said, this year is going to be a very gentle year for me. I'm currently working on Spellbound. Editor Mica with Jesus behind me, apparently. But we're not working on Spellbound, we're working on Unfiltered. That was a year ago. Get over it. Bye. And I'm not really forcing myself to do anything that I don't feel I'm ready for yet. And you thought I was gone, apparently not. I just realised that you can hear the music from the gym that's outside of my house in this portion of the video. And I'm so sorry, but enjoy. I can't fix the audio. I'm not that talented. Everything will definitely happen this year. Everything's in the works to happen, but it's just gonna happen gently, and it's gonna happen slowly, and it's gonna happen when I feel like it's ready. But I kind of thought it was time to maybe come back and say hello and say that I'm not going anywhere. And yeah, I thought it was the best time with everything for Unfiltered coming back. I didn't want it to, like, people to think that I was just someone that's going to keep coming away and coming back and coming away and coming back, because that's not what I want to do, that's not what I want to do. But yeah, please, if you've got any suggestions of anything that you'd like to see from me, or anything you want to see me talk about, or any kind of questions about Spellbound or anything that I'm doing in the future, please feel free to hit me up. If anyone's wanting to do any silly little collaborations, I'm always so up for it. I love working with other people. That's like my favourite thing at the minute, is working with other people. So literally anything, give me a message and I'll be so up for it. I'm not really doing my gig stuff at the minute. If some people ask if I have the time, I will do it, but I've kind of, in the last maybe like year or so, I've just kind of strewn away from it. It's not out of anything. I'm so sorry, Mick Rock, I've let you down, I'm so sorry, but it's just, it's not aligning with what I'm doing currently. But if you send a message, I'm not gonna completely fire you down, so don't be afraid. But yeah, thanks for watching.